Good evening, everyone. We'll begin in a few minutes. Just wait for a few people to join in. It's 4 p.m. here in New Zealand, bright and sunny, but just windy. And I hope you've got good weather in your part of the world as well. All right, let's begin. It's 4:02 p.m. here, and I think it's about time everybody joins in if they're interested. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. And thank you for joining today's webinar, RevUP with STAAH Vouchers. We are thrilled to have such a diverse audience from across the globe who are keen to explore how vouchers can transform your revenue strategy. As you know, at STAAH, we are committed to helping you unlock your property's potential, and we thank you for your support over the years. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll dive into how vouchers can help you drive growth and build loyalty. And before we get started, I'll just share something about myself. I'm Edwin Saldanha, Marketing Director at STAAH, based here in Auckland, New Zealand, living in this beautiful country with really scenic views. And a few facts about me. I've been with STAAH for 11 years, been an ex-hotelier, so I understand you guys and understand how hotels operate. And another fun fact is I'm a big fan of the band Queen. And sometimes that's the song, one of the songs I sing during karaoke, which sort of eases my stress levels after working long hours here. So let's jump into the house rules. What do we have? A little bit of housekeeping. Or you might have realized all the participants have been muted. So we are definitely here to answer any of the questions during the presentation. So feel free to punch in your questions in the Q&A tab at the bottom. We'll have time at the end to answer any questions as well. Just for ease, we recommend you to close all tabs because otherwise you can get a bit distracted. And we have two polls during, and if you can just feel free to answer those poll questions, I'll appreciate that. So thank you. So let's begin. What are we doing today? So today we are doing the introduction to the session, why vouchers matter for your hotel, how do we create and optimize voucher packages, few real-life success stories, and lastly, the Q&A session, which we spoke about. A bit of facts about vouchers, which have been picked up from online research as well. And as you can see, it's growing, right? It's projected to have $106 billion revenue in 2028. This is the global gift card business, including vouchers, is like a 5 trillion business in the next 10 years. This is the compounded annual growth rate of 14% growing every year. And one of the good things, and even we see that around 18 to 25% of the vouchers go unredeemed. Now, how is that helpful? Because that's for you where the vouchers are not redeemed because somebody's forgotten about it or has moved out. That's money coming directly to your bank account without using the services. We have the power of vouchers. I know, being an ex-hotelier, how frustrating it is when you do maintain vouchers manually. There are many a times payments are not received, vouchers are issued without proper payments received, as well as incorrect spellings. And the manual whole process is a bit frustrating. So putting everything online with a powerful tool like what we've got is helping you increase your direct bookings. Of course, then reducing a dependency on the OTAs. You're building a customer and loyalty brand as well. You know, people are aware of your brand. A flexible tool for seasonal promotions. And lastly, booking off-peak seasons, especially when you want to drive revenue during the low periods. Now, what are the voucher types available? Of course, you've got the normal gift vouchers, which can be clubbed into experience vouchers, which is where you package it together with spa, dining, or an experience with, example, like a bungee jump or a harbor bridge walk. You could be using discount vouchers for off-peak periods. And there's another two things that we can do at STAAH Vouchers. One is the monetary vouchers, where we get um vouchers that could be sold in dollar, rupees, or any other currency variation. So you could sell a $50 voucher, a $100 voucher, or a $200 voucher as well. And lastly, a complimentary voucher. If you want to give this as a promotion, you want to give it to your well wishers, you want to give it to guest complaints who have complained about bad service and you want them to come back, you can use this as a complimentary voucher. So there's a various types of using these vouchers, various voucher types that you can use at your property. What are the best practices our hotels are using? And we thought we'll share this to you guys. Tailoring vouchers for the festive season. Now, we had this during COVID, where one of our properties here in New Zealand, we had just opened up post-COVID, and it happened to be Mother's Day. It was well timed. The email went out to their database of 5,000 people, and boom, they were sold out in terms of the high teas that they were selling for Mother's Day. Not only on Mother's Day, but that's sorry. Sorry, not only Mother's Day for that Sunday, but also throughout the week. They also managed to sell a lot of packages as well during that time. So, sort of tailoring your vouchers based on Valentine's Day or Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, New Year would be really beneficial. Bundling that up with experiences, as we mentioned, room, dinner, spa, transfers. We can also offer limited time vouchers to create that a bit of urgency, like you only want to have only 5 packages being sold at this rate, or 5 packages for romance. Once it's sold, it's gone. And then, of course, promoting vouchers across your various channels that you have. And these days, website, social media, print is one you can use. To make this session a bit interactive, we have a bit of a poll. So our team is always onto it. So there'll be a poll question for you. Feel free to take your time to answer the poll, but I will sort of proceed here. So the team will sort of close the poll when we have a few slides down the line. For this webinar, I thought, let me take you to few steps on how do we create, sell, and redeem vouchers in here. Now, with STAAH Vouchers, we made it really easy to make this whole process so that it becomes easy for our hoteliers, because they're always time poor, uh, don't have the resources as well to set up everything. But once it's set up, it's pretty simple. And I thought I'll take you to this process and how we go about doing it. And we sort of break this down into 5 steps, 5 easy steps that we call it. For you start with the property setup. We do a package setup. The third is selling vouchers. Fourth is redeeming your vouchers. And lastly is the reporting as well. So let's sort of deep dive into how it's set up. Now, normally I would take you to a demo, but I know sometimes it gets a bit cumbersome. So what I've done is I put some screenshots to save time so that I can take you through that process. So in terms of property setup, this is how it sort of looks. You log into the STAAH Vouchers extranet, you go into settings, and you see these main tabs here. And let's start with business information. So business info is where you put in all your details, your property name, the contact person, registered email ID, telephone number, country code, logos, and so forth. So this really sets up your base as well, creates what we sometimes term it as a shell. This is where you put your general information, how your vouchers want to be seen. And there are various steps right here to guide you through what it looks like. It's like you said with the property logo, you want a banner, what do you want the cash voucher image to look like? So these are various prompts right here to show you how this general setup is done. In the property setup, we also have an image library where you can upload your images right here. So when you're setting up any of the packages, which we'll come to, you can pick it up from this image library. So this is your like a repository of all the images right here. Now, one of the fantastic things that we've got at STAAH Vouchers is this users. Now, uh, as you can see at the bottom, you've got various user permissions. You've got the hotel administrator, you've got a hotel user, you've got the approver, and finally one for finance. And you may be thinking, why do I need all that? But one of the things is you need an administrator to set up all the packages or the property setup. He's the sole owner for the vouchers. The hotel user is usually the person at the front desk who's only got limited uh, access to only selling vouchers. Approver is usually a GM or a director of finance who approves FSC vouchers. In essence, he's not the hotel administrator because you do not want FOC vouchers being done at one end and being approved by another, by the same person, because there could be a bit of fraud there. So there is various steps to make sure that each one only gets access to what they needed. And lastly, the finance who only get access to the redemption because they don't need to set up any vouchers or they didn't need to sell any vouchers. They need to only see how many vouchers have been sold, how many vouchers have been redeemed as well. So we have created this whole user setup based on feedback from our customers, and this works really well. Um, and it's sort of where people really appreciate that this has been really thought when this is being set up. We also have email templates to save you time for each of the processes so that you don't have to create these email templates. You can always edit them based on your hotel type, but these are the email templates that we have. And we've also got the payment method where you link in your payment gateway. Now, one of the things with the vouchers is that you must have a payment gateway because you either have your own payment gateway or STAAH can help you with a payment gateway. But we need a payment gateway for all the vouchers itself. You can't just have vouchers being sold without payment gateway. This is the terms and conditions because each of these vouchers, you will have terms and conditions, whether it's available only on the weekends, it's available only on the weekdays, it's only available in a king size room or a suite, or this is a romance package, and these are the terms and conditions as well. Also in terms of availability of that package. So we've got a drop down box itself, but you can always change that and amend that based on your property. But this is really important because each of these vouchers that you sell, you'll need to attach a terms and condition there because each package is a bit different. We also set up occasion messages here, which are thank you, vacation, special occasion, because when your customer is typing that on the voucher, which looks like a really good template, you don't want them to waste time and fill all the messages. So they can use this pre-populated messages and just tweak if needed. So we can do that at the back end on the extranet. Now, this is an important one. If some of you have set up your room types on the STAAH Channel Manager or the booking engine, it's somewhat similar on those lines. So we set it up, the package exactly like how it is set up as a room type. And if you go to extranet, you hit packages, you add package, And you go voucher, is it accommodation, non-accommodation type, um, whether you permit FOC, that's free of cost, is it an activity package, what is the sale price, base price, what are the highlights? So very simple prompts to help you set this up itself. And then you can also have the validity, whether you want it valid for a few days, you wanted to have it, you have a set expiry date, and also whether you can have it like an allotment. You only want to sell 10 of these romance packages for Valentine's Day. You don't want to sell anything more because your housekeeping can't cope with it. So these all things can be done. And based on customer feedback, this has been improved over the years as well. So this is just an example, even for food and beverage vouchers, where you have an adult or a child. We had this done because one of the restaurants which was selling vouchers for Christmas had a separate rate for adult and a separate rate for child as well. So that can be done too on the vouchers. So once you set up the property, second, you set up the package. Voila. Third is to sell your vouchers online. How do you do that? It's quite simple. Once you've set this up, as I mentioned to you, it's like a booking engine where we call this as a voucher engine. You go onto the top right hand side and you get a link. And this link is right on top. You can see in the URL. Um, you can mask it based on your property. But for this example, we've got it on our site. So it's at voucher.staah.net. And you can see at the bottom, it's got the cash voucher where they can buy $50, $100, whatever they want to. Once you go to buy it, you can click on it. And then these are the various packages which are available. So selling vouchers, once it's set up, is pretty simple. It just needs a link. You can then add that link to any of your promotions that you're doing on social media or any of the print ads or anything on your website as well. It's just a hyperlink which takes you to our voucher engine. One of the beauty things about our vouchers is also you can sell it offline. So not only online, if you have somebody coming at the reception desk wanting to sell vouchers, wanting to buy vouchers, your reception desk can sell vouchers as well. They can log in with their user permissions. They hit on sell vouchers, and either they custom create a voucher based on the customer who's come right in front of them, or they can have predefined packages which have already been there. So it's quite a simple process. You print it out, take the payment, boom, everything is smooth as well. So there's nothing manual at all being done. And as we spoke about, first is the property setup, the package setup, selling vouchers. Now we go to the fourth part where we talk about redemption. Even redemption is pretty easy on our extranet. On the You go to the redemption, or we call it transactions, right here. You can see all the vouchers that have been made. It's got a voucher number, it's got an expiry date, the package name, the price, status, and lastly, it has got whether you want to redeem it. Once you hit redeem, it's redeem, and it can show on the dashboard. Now, one of the things that we also can do is we have an app where with the QR code, you can redeem the vouchers as well. So if you've got a busy restaurant and you sold hundreds of vouchers for high tea or for lunch, you have a scanner, you scan that out, and boom, it's automatically reflects on your dashboard. So redemption becomes really simple in there. And this is how it sort of looks as well. And lastly is the reporting part, right? Where your finance team, because I understand with vouchers, there are many in hotels. There are many departments involved. You got the front of the house involved. You got the marketing, sales and marketing involved, and lastly, you got the finance team involved, wanting to know how many vouchers have we sold, how many vouchers have been redeemed. Now, to make life easier, our dashboard is really simple to use. You can see everything right in one place. You can see your total revenue. You can see the number of vouchers sold. You can see how many have been FOC, what is the monetary vouchers as well. So it gives a total overview of the vouchers without anything being under the table or being hanky-panky. So your accountants are happy, your front desk is happy, your sales and marketing is happy, because everything is in one dashboard, which really gives you a good insights into what are the packages that are selling, what are the total revenue that you're looking at. So as mentioned, when you're buying a voucher, it's an intent. You will be using vouchers in future dates. However, the money has already come to your bank. So it's a fantastic tool where you have people who are booked to stay maybe in next April, but have actually paid now, and that's money is in your bank itself. So this is really a tool good for even your cash flow as well. So if used well, your accountants, your finance team are going to be happy too. We've got another poll coming up as well, which will be up on your screen. So feel free to answer that as well. And I'll continue. So we covered the bit of a demo right from the property setup, the package setup. We spoke about selling vouchers. We spoke about redemption, and we spoke about the reporting part. So what makes us different? Because vouchers are being sold by other companies, and you could get online tools sometimes. But what makes us different? Because this has been built taking the hotel into consideration. It's not some thing where we picked it up being used by other retail shop. This has been made specifically for accommodation providers as well. So there's been a lot of thought gone into all the elements that we use when creating these vouchers. And we've been using this for years in many hotel groups as well. So firstly, we can do customized packages. You can do accommodation, non-accommodation, monetary. We got options for bulk creation. So if you got some company wants to make 100 vouchers for Christmas to give it to their staff for a job well done, that can be done as well. We can set up expiry dates and allotments. And of course, the voucher template that we use can be customized to your own brand website so that it doesn't look different as well. Then the redemption process, as I mentioned to you, is very simple. It gives you real-time validation and tracking. You can use a QR code. And one of the beauty things that has been enhanced over the years is the monetary vouchers can do partial redemption. You may be asking, what does that mean? That means that you've got a $100 voucher and you've come to the restaurant, but you by yourself and used only $50 during the time. You can still use part of that voucher when you come back again. So you can only use half of that during the time, or whatever you've dined during the time. So you can only use partial redemption. So that's possible with STAAH Vouchers. As we showed you, the reporting analysis, it's a comprehensive dashboard. You can click on it and get more data. User management, as I mentioned to you earlier, it's really taking into consideration which are the different roles in a hotel, and how do you streamline each segment, each role there to use a specific part in creating those vouchers and redeeming those vouchers. Like I said, finance, front desk. So we have made sure that user management is taken into consideration. And we have detailed activity logs as well to know who's done what. So it helps if something goes wrong, if you know some staff member has done something wrong, you can go back to the detailed activity logs and have a look at it. And last but not the least is the security measures, right? Because anything online these days, we've got to make sure it's all secure. So we go through a lot of compliance ourselves every year. We are PCI certified. We go through GDPR regulation. So all these are being done so that our customer, or your customer and you as a customer to us don't have to go through this itself. We do that hard yard for you. Now, few things, strategies for promoting a vouchers, which we have seen where our properties use it, with direct marketing channels, email, SMS, WhatsApp, leveraging social media, and this is done very well by few of our properties. They know right in time. At present, they will be promoting Christmas packages, Christmas vouchers. So they know this is the time where people will be looking to buy things, and that'll be really on. There are some hotels who started to use a lot of influencer marketing as well in their whole marketing strategy. So talking about vouchers as well, so that in these days and age, I think giving an experience is something, at least I feel, much more valuable than getting other gifts as well. And also you can cross sell, right? It's in your whole booking process. You can cross sell, upsell, and you can always use vouchers if somebody even cancels a booking. So rather than canceling that booking, say, would you like me to give you a voucher so that you can come and stay with us anytime from now till another 6 months? So it'll be, oh, wow. So rather than canceling the booking and getting nothing out of it, you can still make some money out of it by giving them a voucher. These are few of the success stories that we've had from few of the hotel groups that are using us. Swiss Bell, they're not only based in Indonesia, they're world over. But this is a quote from their bosses down in Indonesia saying that I can sell vouchers, can be redeemed across all the hotels as well, across the group. So not only we can manage vouchers just for one hotel, but we can manage vouchers across the group. So you can have vouchers set up to be made that this voucher is only for this hotel, or this voucher is redeemed in any of our hotel groups, or only few of those groups in there. So we have that possibility to do that. And at the bottom, we have the CPG hotels here based in New Zealand who found that really helpful, where they use it for corporate clients to book their staff in bulk. So, and as they mentioned, they haven't found any flexible solution itself. Hence, they use us. So we're pretty proud that these large hotel groups use it, and they sort of vouch for it as well. Few takeaways from today's session with you guys. As I said, I wanted to make it short and crisp itself, and I don't want to take your valuable time. I really appreciate you taking the time, but I thought I'll throw in a few takeaways here for you to take away from this webinar. And I'm not going anywhere away. We are still going to answer some questions, but few takeaways is like, what do you do? Like, number one is you boost your revenue. Your vouchers are your secure upfront revenue that you're looking at, where people are paying you in advance. You foster a bit of loyalty, where people are coming repeatedly, and that sort of strengthens your own brand connections as well. You expand your reach, where you go into a gift market, so you have a broader audience as well, where you're selling these vouchers where people want to have an experience, who wouldn't have booked you earlier, but now will think about booking you because you have that option available. As you see, we have flexible options available, right? Flexible voucher types. You either got accommodation, non-accommodation, monetary types. So use that to your advantage based on your audience, your segments, because each hotel is different, who they are targeting. You support the marketing, right? By vouchers is really something which helps the marketing, where you can have event-based campaigns itself. So this could be really leveraged when you're having events based on, you can package this part of your campaign itself. And then lastly, you got your data as well, where you've got all your data on the extranet for you to understand your customer, who you're targeting, gives you valuable insights in there, so that eventually you know your customer in and out. You will know what's working, what's not working, and how can I make this more personal itself. So these are sort of 6 things I've sort of put down, which I would share, which will help you in in moving forward, growing your online revenue with vouchers. So here we are, and spot on 4:31. So bang on, I'm 30 minutes exactly on time, and I'm here to meaning I've been backed up by a team. One of them, Ruchi, who answers our voucher support, and Farin, who handles our product as well. So if I'm not the person to answer your questions, they will be there on the Q&A as well. So feel free to punch in your Q&A. In the meantime, I'll read out if anybody has any questions, and I'll try and answer some of them. I don't want to take that. Okay. What is the difference? How about hotel user? What is the difference with admin? The admin is okay. Somebody's answered that. What's the difference between a hotel user and admin? The admin is the primary account holder or the super user who has full access to the voucher system. A hotel user is a secondary user, so he has only got limited user functionality. So I hope this answers your question, Lian. And how difficult is to customize vouchers? And I think one of the things, it's pretty flexible. What we have learned over the years building booking engines, that this is a bit has to be customized. It has to be taken into consideration what the customer is looking for. So this could be customized based on your brand, and the packages is based. It's you have the limit to sell 10 packages or hundreds of packages itself. Somebody asked, would it be feasible to apply the STAAH voucher without a payment gateway and instant use our own payment link? I think that's a no, if I'm not mistaken. We need a payment gateway because you would want that as well, right? Because when somebody books a voucher, you would want somebody to um, complete that whole transaction and you get that money in your bank. Otherwise, they will make a voucher and then not pay for it. So, hence, a payment gateway is mandatory for a voucher. Otherwise, there will be errors and fraud as well. Can Is there any additional payment if join this? Yes, definitely. There is a small sort of fee in there. Reach out to any of our sales team members. If you've got any query, we are happy to answer that. At the end of the day, if you want to make sure we are in it together, we give you the tools to grow your online revenue and you utilize it to the best of our ability. And we've seen some hotels using it. Any further questions, ladies and gentlemen? I like that you've been interactive here as well. So appreciate your question and answers. Cool. If you don't have any questions, this is a link. If you want to scan it, it can take you to our landing page. Reach out to any of our team members or hit sales@staah.com. Our team is happy to sort of give you a rundown, create a demo account if need be, show you how vouchers work, and give it a shot. As long as you're connected to the payment gateway, we don't see anything going wrong in it itself. So appreciate you taking your time on a Thursday afternoon or a morning or an evening. So on behalf of the STAAH team, I'd like to thank you for your support and reach out to me on my email or on LinkedIn or anything that you want to. Happy to help. So thank you guys for your support and have a good evening. It's bright and sunny now, so I'm going to have a good evening as well. So thank you.